There are hundreds, maybe even thousands of frogs here.
Is stuck under their skin.
They're injected with this dye.
They can give you salmonella. That is how toxic, how poisonous the dye is. Hello and welcome back to the channel, everyone. This video right here is very important to me, so I would really appreciate it if all of you could share the video, like the video, whatever you are able to do. I would really appreciate it because this video means a lot to me. There's a lot of information in this video and I think that a lot of people need to hear everything in this video. So if you guys wouldn't mind doing that, I really would appreciate it. But on to today's video. For starters, if you didn't see 2 videos ago when I actually set up this brand new guppy pond, you go ahead and check that out. Just want to go ahead and show you guys what it looks like now that it's all cleared up. It looks so great, and the way the lighting is hitting it just looks awesome. So that's what the guppy pond looks like. I'll be getting guppies for it soon. But on to the topic of today's video, Flubber. Also, this is like after I filmed the video, but I did create an Instagram for Flubber, so I'll go ahead and put it up on the screen and you guys can follow it down below in the description. I also have an Instagram if you want to message me or follow me, whatever. I'll leave both of those on the screen and down below. Continue with what I was saying. So this little guy right here, I purchased about a month ago, actually might even be exactly a month. And as you can see, it's a blue frog. Now you may be wondering how it became blue and if it's the same as glowfish, where it's a jellyfish genetic DNA thing. And unfortunately, it's not. But before we get into all the sad stuff and all the information, I'm gonna go ahead and feed him real quick because I love watching him eat and I just want you guys to see him eat because I don't think I've showed too much of it on the channel and he's just adorable. So let's go ahead and feed him, and then as he's eating and stuff, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you guys all about Flubber. So let's go ahead and grab his little feeding bowl. Hey buddy, you waiting for me? I know, buddy. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and just get a little bit of tank water, put it in here so we can start defrosting this cube of bloodworms. All right, let's go ahead and feed him some bloodworms. All right, so I'm just gonna start with this amount. Let's see if he'll, come on little buddy. Gotta wait for it to fall, obviously. It's taking a little bit. He should start to smell it now. There he goes. Of course it was out of focus. Oh my God, I love his little face when he eats. It's so cute. Hi, little Flubber. He's probably gonna take a few more minutes. So let's go ahead and start talking about this.
So before we continue talking about it with all the facts and everything, I wanted to show some videos, some pictures, and just so you guys can see. This is a video right here from YouTube, and it's from a pet store. Now, as you can see, they're basically treated as if they were toys or just a decoration, something on the shelf. They're not exactly treated like, you know, animals or fish. They're not given their own tanks or anything like that. This right here is another video from a pet store, and one thing I want to point out with this one is that yes, they are in a tank, they have a filter, there's nothing else in the tank, but the main thing to focus on is, if you can see, I'm going to try and zoom in here, these frogs are like splotchy. Like their arms, some of their leg is like darker than the rest of their body, and that can kind of just indicate either where they injected the dye or where the dye just decided to kind of stay. But that's another indicator that it is not a genetic, it is actually them being injected with the dye. Now this video right here is where it gets pretty bad. So this is obviously in China, I'm assuming, and it's basically just this giant styrofoam container, and there are hundreds, if not thousands, of these dyed African frogs just all sitting here, all at the surface because they're trying to breathe. They're all climbing all over each other. It's just stagnant water. I mean, it's a terrible video to watch. And if you do look up this video on YouTube, the person walks around and shows the entire animal market, and there are baby chicks that are dyed. All of the animals there are just in like styrofoam containers or crates, and it's just really hard to watch. Now, a lot of you may be saying at this point, well, yeah, that's China. That's not where I live. I see these frogs and they're in a pet store. They're well taken care of. But the thing is that this roots back to China. This roots back to these videos where these frogs are all just thrown into something. They're injected with this dye. So many of them get infections, diseases, everything from these horrible conditions. So if sales are stopped in the United States, even in a few select states or other countries, it will drastically change how many of these frogs are dyed each year, each day, and less of them will die, obviously. On to the rest of the video. So as you guys see, that right there is an African clawed frog. Now, you're probably wondering why it's blue. That's because it was injected with dyes when it was really small. Hi, little buddy. He just came up for air, but I thought it was super cute. Anyway,
He keeps distracting me because I'm looking at him. But unlike glowfish, which are no longer injected, they have a jellyfish gene in them, which makes them those different colors. African clawed frogs are injected with dyes.
Now, I tried to find a video on this being done, but the only one I could find has been removed from YouTube, so couldn't find any videos, but you can take my word for it and all the articles.
Something like this, but with a needle, like a really small needle, is stuck under their skin, and then they push in the dye. Now, most frogs don't even make it past the injection part. That is how toxic, how poisonous the dye is that they put in them. Either the dye makes them pass away, or they get infections and stuff where they were initially injected. Frogs are very, very sensitive because they actually breathe through their skin. They have a layer of mucus around their skin to go ahead and protect them. As you guys might be able to see, he doesn't have gills, and like I said, that's because he breathes through his skin. Now, why am I bringing that up, you may ask? Well, if the dye is injected into their skin, then you can probably put 2 and 2 together. Now, the other thing is the dye, when they initially are injected, it makes them shed their outer layer of skin, which is their most protective layer of skin, and it's just really harmful. Also, I don't know if you guys can tell on camera, but his knees are actually, I think it's a he. I'm actually not sure the sex of this frog, but as you can see, his knees are like darker than the rest of his body, which doesn't look very comfortable. It looks like he has stuff shed or something. Now, to kind of help him with his like skin and everything, because like I said, he's very, very sensitive, I use this for all the water because it does have aloe vera in it, and it will kind of help him a little bit with that layer of mucus and everything to protect him. Now, this tank right here is going to be his tank. It's a 10-gallon tank. I haven't set it up yet, but I think it will go next to Albert's tank. I haven't really thought up any other ideas yet, so it may go next to Albert's tank, but I've had him for about a month. I didn't want to stress him out and just move him into one tank and then another tank and another tank. I'm gonna wait another week or two to go ahead and set up his new tank, but make sure you guys stay tuned for that because it's gonna be an epic tank, and it's definitely gonna be like his dream tank. So now you may be wondering why I'm bringing all of that up, and the reason is because in China, they're taking all of these African clawed frogs, injecting them with dye. Most of them are dying, and it's just really unnecessary. These frogs actually come in 4 different color varieties before even dyeing them all these bright and unnecessary colors. And the more people that know about it, the more people that can boycott and not buy these frogs. Now, a lot of this happens in China, but any of them that are imported to the US or other continents and stuff should be aware of this issue. So I strongly encourage you guys not to purchase them. If you want one for some reason, try to find one that is up for adoption or needs a new home. I don't encourage you to go out and buy them because it's just unnecessary and no one should really buy them anyway. Now, as you can see, I pulled up this picture on my phone from a place that has a bunch of these. Now, as you can see, they come in orange, pink, green, blue, pretty much any color you can think of. But that's not even necessary. Why would you do that? Why would you inject animals, innocent animals? So the frogs that are injected are albino to start with. They get injected and supposedly within 3 years the dye will wear off. So again, what's the point? Oh right, to make more money. Also, a lot of them don't even live to 3 years. In captivity, their lifespan is up to 30 years. And in the wild, it ranges from 8 to 15 to 20 years. It just kind of all depends. But most of these frogs that are injected with this dye don't even last a year. Some of them don't even last a day. So that's also another thing, is that I don't know how long he has to live. So I'm trying to get his tank set up probably next week and give him the best life I can give him because I don't know how long it's going to be. Now, this little froggy right here, not exactly that one, but his type of frog, an African clawed frog, they actually were a really big help in the medical field. I'll kind of put up something on the screen. I'm pretty sure it was to do with birth control or something that's pretty important in today's world.
So it actually wasn't birth control, it was pregnancy tests, and as you can see in the 1960s, before there were actually reliable pregnancy tests, they used to inject a woman's urine into either male or female African clawed frogs, and they would either release eggs or the other thing, and it would indicate that the woman was pregnant. That's also not the only thing that African clawed frogs are known for in the medical field. The other thing is anesthetics, so they would monitor these frogs on anesthetics to see their vital signs and everything. So these frogs actually have quite a big impact on humans, but yet again, here we are injecting them with dye and basically killing them right on the spot. So why would you inject an animal that has helped humans? Like, that just doesn't even make any sense. It's not like these frogs wiped out an entire human population and then the humans were like, we're gonna inject you. Like, that doesn't even make any sense.
So please, if you guys do see these frogs, I encourage you not to buy them. I also encourage you guys to share this video with anyone because you never know. Could be someone who's not even into fish or animals. They walk into a pet store for no reason. They see a blue, pink, green frog and then they're like, oh, now if you guys already do have these frogs, I'll go ahead quickly and just go over some of the care information because I understand some of you have already purchased them. Now I have read some things. Some people say that doing frequent water changes, and that does not mean 100% water change every day or every week. Some people say that doing water changes does help to remove the dye because it does kind of leach out of their skin. Also, these little frogs right here, they can give you salmonella, so you do have to be careful. I don't encourage you to hold them, and if they do get out, they can jump like a regular frog. You definitely want a lid on your tank as well. Also, I feed him just a strict frozen bloodworm diet. As he gets bigger, I will definitely feed him a variety of foods, but that's their main diet. Also, just to kind of help them, as you can see, I have this very fine sand right here. It's a very, very fine sand. You saw how this guy ate, and obviously if he's throwing food at his face and everything, he might scoop up some sand. So just like axolotls, you want to have as fine of a sand or a gravel as possible because they could become impacted, and that could also be the cause of their death. Also, although they are very cute, they will eat anything that can fit in their mouth. So any fish that can fit in their mouth or anything like that. So I'm just going to be keeping him in a species only tank. Also, I'm hoping it'll kind of lower some stress or any stress that there may be being in like a community tank so that hopefully his life is longer. So yeah, buying these frogs, just don't do it. It's not worth it, and honestly, at least if we can get sales to stop in the United States, that would knock out a huge portion. And also, China may start to produce less of them because the United States is not buying them. So I'm not sure if I'm going to create a petition for this one. I don't know if there's already a petition out there. I may create one, if not, so I'll leave it on the screen or in the description down below if you guys want to go ahead and sign that. It's really, really simple. Sign petitions. Like I said, I encourage all of you to share this video with whoever you can because the more people that know about this, the more people that can stop this from continuing to happen. And it's honestly just really sad. Like, just imagine your life expectancy is 30 years and then a human just injects you with this dye and you don't know how long you have to live, like at all. Like, for all I know, he could die tomorrow because the dyes have such an impact on their body. So yes, this right here is cute little Flubber, and like I said, we're gonna give him the best life possible. Unfortunately, there are no guarantees on how long he's going to live, but I'm gonna do my very best to give him the best home, the best food, everything, to at least make his life enjoyable for however long it is. But yeah, this video is really important to me, and I'm sure it's important to Flubber and all his little family members around the world. And it is quite a sad one, but on a happy note, I will be putting his tank together this coming week. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope this video spreads to a lot of people so that a lot more people are aware with what's going on and why they shouldn't be buying these frogs, because honestly, it's just a really dangerous thing. Also, it's just not ideal. His Instagram will be in the description down below, as well as mine, if you guys want to check it out. And other than that, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.